All right, welcome to the team. If you're joining our customer service department, we're going to talk about a skill you need to master, like right away. And that's the pre move call. And trust me, it's way more than just a task on a to do list. It's really an art form that sets the stage for every single successful move we do. So let me just start with a quick question. Out of all the calls we make, what do you think is the single most important one? I'll give you a second. If you guessed the pre move call, you are absolutely right. This one call, it is the backbone of our entire operation. So, in this training, we're going to cover 5 key things. We'll kick off with why this call is so critical, then we'll break down what a perfect one looks like. After that, we'll get practical and walk through the call flow, go over the mandatory checklist, and wrap up with how to document everything so the whole team is set up for success. Sound good? Let's dive in. Okay, first up, why do we put so much emphasis on this call? Well, think of it this way. This is the moment a job goes from just being a booking in our system to a real, well-planned operation. This call is the foundation for a totally seamless move day. And let's be super clear about something. This is not a casual, hey, just checking in, are we still good for Friday kind of call. Nope. It is a structured, systematic, operational risk check. Your job is to be a bit of a detective, to uncover all the little details that ensure everything goes off without a hitch. This brings us to the core mission, kind of our mantra around here. We call it the Rule of 3. Every single pre-move call you make is designed to do 3 things: protect the client, protect the crew, and protect the company. That's it. That is the whole reason this call exists. And, this slide really shows you what's at stake. A move with a great pre-move call, it's smooth, on time, and ends with a happy client. The path without one? Well, it's a mess of delays, surprise costs, and a whole lot of stress. The choice couldn't be clearer, and you're the one who makes that right choice happen. So what is this call, really? Let's break down its anatomy. I want you to stop thinking of it as just a conversation and start seeing it as a precision tool that we use to build success. So here's the official definition. It's a risk management tool, it's a quality control step, and it's a client experience safeguard, all wrapped into one phone call. This is our first and our absolute best line of defense against anything going sideways on move day. Okay, now let's get into the weeds. We're going to turn this idea into a practical step-by-step process. This is the how-to section, your actual playbook for making a perfect call every time. Every single call you make is going to follow these 8 phases, and always in this order. You'll start with an opening that builds rapport, go all the way through identifying risks, and end with a solid closure that leaves the client feeling totally confident. This structure, it's your secret weapon for consistency and quality. Right after your warm opening, your first real job is the accuracy check. This is where you make sure that what we have in our system actually matches the client's reality on the ground. You can't assume anything. Confirm everything. And speaking of confirming things, some questions are completely non-negotiable. These 4 things must be asked on every single call: addresses, any time restrictions, the number and size of TVs, and their packing situation. No exceptions. This is our baseline for every job we do. All right, time to put on that detective hat I mentioned. Your main goal here is to gently, skillfully uncover what the client just plain forgot to tell us when they first booked. And believe me, there's almost always something. And these are the usual suspects you're looking for. You need to be actively asking about hidden stairs, long carries from the truck, fragile things like pianos or artwork, that extra barbecue they didn't mention, or maybe a super tight hallway that could be a real problem. Finding these things now protects everyone later. So you might be wondering, how do I keep all of this straight? Well, that's where the mandatory call checklist comes in. This thing isn't optional, it's your absolute guide to staying compliant and delivering quality on every call. So the checklist really has 2 jobs. First, it guides you through the conversation so you don't miss a single step. And second, it creates a formal record of the call. It's our quality control document. Think of it as your script and your logbook all in one. Inside this checklist, you're going to find sections for every phase of the call we just talked about, from confirming the job info right at the top to ticking a box that, yes, the payment terms were clearly explained. You'll fill out this jot form either during or right after every call you make. And that brings us to our last section, and you could argue it's the most important one. All this incredible work you do on the phone is basically useless if it isn't documented correctly. So let's talk about our system of record. Moveware. I really want you to burn this phrase into your brain. This is our golden rule at Ready Movers. Say it with me. If it is not in Moveware, it did not happen. If you talked about it, but it's not in the system, then for everyone else in the company, it simply never happened. So after your call, you're going to update 3 specific places in Moveware. First, the diary notes. That's the official history of the job. Second, crew notes. These are the direct need-to-know instructions for the team on the truck. Keep them bold and brief. And third, diary comments. That's the quick summary or alert for the rest of us in the office. All 3 are absolutely essential. Look, at the end of the day, when you nail a pre-move call, you're not just checking a box. You are literally setting up the client, the crew, and the entire company for a 5-star move. Your work is that first critical domino that leads to success. And that is exactly what I want you to take away from all this. As you get ready to make your first calls, just ask yourself this one question. How am I going to protect the client, protect the crew, and protect the company? That is the art of the pre-move call.